Welcome back, everybody. It's Sport Federation TV. We carry on talking sport in the province. If you've just joined us, we look at our various federations, our clubs, our coaches. You can catch us here, of course, on Cape Town TV, DStv channel 263 every Saturday. We, of course, repeat also on a Friday. And look out for our early morning rendition on a Tuesday. And if you don't catch us here, you've got us on YouTube. Equestrian Sport's been on the show with us on a number of occasions. Equestrian Sports, folks, for those of you that don't know, is all about the different horse codes. In fact, back in the day, they used to be called the Horse Society. Jean Jordan is from Western Mounted Games and joins me in studio now. Jean, welcome.
Thank you, JP. Appreciate it.
Did I get that right? Western Mounted Games?
You did. The actual word, well, we actually call ourselves the South African Western Mounted Games. So,
right. What is the difference between Gymkhana, show jumping, tent pegging? What is Western Mounted Games?
Okay, so the background for Western Mounted Games, in 2011, a couple of Western riding enthusiasts decided to start this sport with a bit of a Western feel.
Yeah.
And it started off small in Gauteng with only a few riders, and has obviously since grown to what we know today as the South African Western Mounted Games. We are really well positioned. We represented in all 9 of the provinces. We have an annual competition in Paris once a year, which attracts over 700 horses over the 5 days.
Wow.
So it's very, very exciting. I mean, as far as we're concerned, we might be a little biased, but it's probably the best fun you could have on your horse. So that's basically it. It's got a Western feel to it.
Well, I was going to ask, that was going to be my next question. When you say it's got a Western feel or a Western theme, what do you mean by that? It's
okay, so I think a lot of people might have seen on TV barrel racing as an example. So that's but one of the games. We've got 13 games as total that we play. One of them obviously being the barrels that we do. So that's one. Then we've got pole bending, which was another game. We've got 2 variations, which we call poles 1 and poles 2. And the way our games work is everything runs on time. But so the problem is you mustn't think that it's going to be the fastest horse is going to be the winning horse. So it's quite a nice combination between technicality. You've got to have a horse that you can weave between the obstacles or go around a barrel without knocking it over, because we've got a point structure. So it's time, but there's obviously penalties for knocking over an obstacle. Or if one of the games we play is called something like figure 8 stake or figure 8 flags rather. So where there's a bucket with a drum and you get a flag as you enter the arena, you run a figure 8 and you've got to place the flags and take another one out. And if you drop the flag, then it's a no time. And
okay, so you don't have to be dressed as a cowboy to do this.
No, you don't. I mean, I think that's another. You probably could. There are certain rules. I mean, obviously helmets are, it's not negotiable. So as a sport, we really try and keep to a very strict set of rules. In terms of welfare is obviously something that's not negotiable for the horse and the rider.
I mean, I'm just curious now, is there a dress code?
Yeah, well, yes, there is. For Western Mounted Games, obviously long pants, closed shoes. You can, if you like, you could wear spurs, but it's not something that most of our riders don't. And if you did, obviously there's certain rules in terms of how you can and can't use them. But normally our dress code is long sleeve shirt, button down to the bottom with a collar, is what you could. So you couldn't come riding in a t-shirt.
Do most of the athletes must you have your own horse, or do the guys? I mean, what does the community of Western Mounted Games look like? Is it people who live on farms? Is it people who get together at a club and you borrow a horse?
No, as I say, I think that's why I love the games, because I think the barrier for entry is very low in terms of you could either go to a riding school that offers Western Mounted Games as one of their disciplines that they train on.
If I wanted to do Western Mounted Games, is there a club I could go to and say, I'd like to do this. I've seen it on TV. I've been watching Yellowstone too much, and now I've seen it on TV and I want to do this. Can I join?
Yes, you could. We've got clubs in our different regions. We've got a club on the West Coast. I don't know if I can call this the West Coast Show Jumping Club. They're affiliated with Samkwa. We've got 2 clubs, a Green Acres Club, and we've got a club in Paarl called the Mustangs. And we've just got a new club that has joined us in Eden. call themselves the Flying Hooves.
So pretty much out there for people to join.
Yeah. You can get involved, and as I say, join us.
Tell me a little bit about your competition structure. What does that end up looking like?
Okay, so the competitions, so
I mean, we generally have in South Africa, people start at a club level. It's pretty basic, and then maybe you'll have an inter-club, and then maybe you have an inter-district or provincial. What does your channel look like?
Okay, so most of our clubs in the Western Cape, most of our competitions are theoretically inter-district clubs, because we will find a venue either on the West Coast, and you would have clubs coming from Winelands and maybe out of the metro come and compete there. But we have them as our own competitions. And then this is actually, we're very excited because we will be having our first district or regional competition coming up next month on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of June at Equestrian Park in Paarl, which is something the first for the Western Cape. So we're very, very excited about that one.
Is that a nationals, provincials?
So that's a district competition. Our big national competition gets held at Paris. Normally that last week or that first week in October, we have it at the Afridome. And that's where all 9 provinces come to compete. We even have invitational teams coming from Zimbabwe and from Botswana.
Yeah.
So it is a really, really nice big competition. I think we had about close on 700 horses competing last year.
Wow.
So that's great. So, but at the moment in the Western Cape, we have our competitions in different districts.
What does the training picture look like for athletes and that are competing in this? Are they training once a week or twice a week? Or
obviously, I mean,
daily
most of them train at least once or twice a week with their different riding schools that are offering the discipline as a sport. Some of us that are living out far, we train at home. I mean, it's the way you do it. I mean, my daughter's forever putting out her barrels and doing, watching a few YouTube videos, and then obviously gets a lot of support from other riders. Our competitions are great. I mean, as I say, we're riding against each other, but at the moment you're actually riding against yourself because you're riding against the clock, and we encourage each other, we help each other, we give tips, we give advice, we cheer each other on. It's a great Western Mounted Games family. It's really nice.
What's the progress after that? Once you start being successful in South Africa, what does the international scene look like?
Well, at the moment, because as I've just explained to somebody else earlier, the Western Mounted Games is not an internationally recognized sport.
Right.
It is very much a South African sport. However, we have had teams coming out of the UK. So we don't know. I mean, we've only started in 2011. The future is still bright for us. And we hope that we could expand and make it an international sport. I mean, as I've mentioned to you before, we've got Botswana coming through, we've got Zimbabwe coming through for our national competition. So you never know, we might reach that level.
Do you have coaches that are out there? Do you need a coach for this? Or?
Coaches are always advantageous. I mean, if you've got a coach helping you along, it's great. We do have coaches. I know that's also, once again, because it's such a new discipline, we're busy developing a whole coaches program. So that we can have coaches that are affiliated with the South African Western Mounted Games, just to make sure that the coaching that they're actually offering is in line with what we believe and what we stand for, and obviously implementing the rules correctly.
All right. So final question, which is I think probably the most important question, is how do people join? How do they get involved? How do they go to Facebook? Is there a website?
We do. So you could go to our website, which is www.sawmga.co.za, so the South African Western Mounted Games. They could join our Facebook page. We've got a Western Mounted Games Facebook, Western Cape Facebook page, in which all the events that we're having in the Western Cape. But most of the information you could find on our national website.
And then somebody will be able to guide you into the system.
All our call details are on there. Each president's details are on there.
That's amazing.
So if they've got any questions, just look up on there, and I'm sure they can get hold of somebody.
Well, it's fantastic, Jean. Western Mounted Games, South Africa Western Mounted Games. Sounds like a lot of fun, actually, more than anything else. We can't wait to get you back, and some of your athletes. Obviously, we can't get a horse in the studio with us, but fantastic chatting with you.
Yeah, it'll be great, JP. Hopefully after our competition, our regional competition, as I say, our first regional competition, we're very excited. Hopefully we can come and give you some feedback and show you how it went, or tell you how it went.
Looking forward to it. Right, folks, there we go. Western, Jean Jordan, South African Western Mounted Games. Always fantastic for us to find out more about equestrian sport, all of our sport in the province. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.